A Tu-22M3 bomber, which was the flagship of Soviet military aviation in the 1980s, crashed in the Irkutsk region. The aircraft is designed for long-range flights and still remains an important part of Russian strategic aviation. Since 2022, the Ukrainian armed forces have destroyed 2 and damaged 5 Tu-22M3 bombers. Analysts know that its loss is significant for the Russian army since the production of the aircraft and components for it ceased in the mid-1990s. The model needs to be modernized, so the Russian army very rarely uses this type of bomber.
Only up to 30 aircraft were to be sent for modernization to the Tu-22M3M level, and this figure can be considered the reference, and from it, at least 2 lost machines can be subtracted, as well as some of the damaged ones. But in reality it is much more, because not all Russian Tu-22M3 are in combat and flight condition. Therefore, each loss of Tu-22M3 is more than significant for the Federation, because new aircraft are not produced, and all this is possible is to eat up the remains from the USSR. At the same time, there is no replacement for these aircraft, as well as strategic aviation in the form of Tu-95MS and Tu-160. From a publication by Defense Express.
In addition, on August 14, the armed forces of Ukraine carried out a large-scale attack with drones. Its target was the Russian aviation facilities. As a result of the raid, the airfields Khalina, Savosleika, Borisogledsk and Baltimore, which are located in the Voronezh, Kursk and Nizhny Novgorod regions, were hit. Russian telegram channels announced the destruction of the MiG-31K attack aircraft, which is used to launch Kinzhal missiles. Satellite images also show destroyed hangars at the Borisogledsk airfield and the fire at the Savosleika air base. Experts believe that in this way the Ukrainian armed forces managed to move the basing of Russian aviation away from the front line.
The last attack it was carried out in a promising airfields for tactical aviation and on the Savosleika airfield, which is the airfield where Tu-22M3 aircraft are based. What is Savosleika? It is a branch of the Lipetsk Force Center for training aviation pilots, where training on Su-57 aircraft takes place. The planes didn't take off from there. There is no confirmation of takeoff, and if this warehouse detonated, and over the years a lot of equipment, a lot of fuel and lubricants have accumulated there, we will still learn many details about this defeat.
In 2.5 years of war against Ukraine, Russian aviation has lost a third of its aircraft. This is the conclusion reached by analysts from the publication Defense 24. According to their data, at the beginning of 2022, the Russian aircraft fleet consisted of approximately 1,200 aircraft, while now the Russian Federation has about 850 aircraft in combat readiness. Analysts saw the obsolescence and wear and tear of aircraft as the reasons for the decrease in their number. In addition to combat operations, aviation experts emphasize that sanctions seriously affect Moscow's ability to modernize its aviation.
If 150 F-35s are produced per year, then just 6 or 8 Su-34s and Su-35s are produced per year. Here's the difference. If we talk about what is happening with long-range aviation in Russia, then in 2022 they overhauled 2 of the Tu-160 aircraft and said they would make a new modernization out of them. And that's where the whole story about the modernization of the Tu-160 ended. If we talk about their promising aviation complex, as always pompously, long-range aviation, Voronezh, then they are postponing and postponing it. As a result, they have already postponed it for more than 10 years. There is still no result, the draft design has not been approved.
Let us remind you that in January 2024, the Ukrainian Defense Forces reported the downing of a Russian military aircraft A-50 and damage to the Il-22 command post. As reported by the Air Force spokesperson Yuri Ignat, the Il-22 was able to make an emergency landing in Anapa, but most likely the plane cannot be used anymore. The chief of the main directorate of intelligence Kirill Budanov said in an interview with the Financial Times that this would affect the intensity of Russian aviation in Ukraine. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Andriy Dmitrenko, UATV News.